The information presented in this podcast is general. It is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. It should be never used to diagnose, prescribe medical or psychological conditions, or replace a physician. Thank you for listening and blessings. Have you ever wished to discover how to help your employees with their occupational stress in a mindful approach? What if there is a way to building a productive and supportive environment for your employees that leads you to influence the organizational culture positively? Well, this is your invitation to join us to Mindful Leader Talk, a podcast on the effects of mindfulness as a secular practice on occupational stress and organizational culture. Welcome to the Mindful Leader Talk. I'm Dr. Maria D. Baez. And today's episode is about redefining leadership, the paradigm shift to a healthy, happier workplace. We hear a lot about leadership strategies, but what if the real key to progress isn't just about tactics, but about shifting the way we think about leadership itself? How do we move from outdated, stress-inducing leadership models to that truly support thriving workplaces? Today's guest is a distinguished professor, author, researcher, friend, and a mindful leader in modern leadership and digital transformation. With over 30 years of global corporate experience and more than a decade in academia, he has authored multiple research papers on hybrid leadership in the digital economic, AI's impacts on leadership and mindful leadership in change management. As an editor-in-chief of the International Journal for Standardization and Research, Dr. Ghosh continues to shape the discourse on leadership evolution in an AI-driven world. His expertise bridges theory and practice, making him a timely voice in the modern area leadership who has been helping leaders navigate this shift in a way that fosters healthier, more sustainable workplaces. Dr. Uday Ghosh, welcome to the Mindful Leader Talk.
Thank you, Dr. Maria. It's a privilege and it's a great introduction. Thank you once again.
It is my pleasure to finally have you here. Let's dive into what made you rethink leadership. Was there any specific moment or experience that made you realize something had to change?
I got the privilege of serving more than 30 years as a leader in the corporate world with Japanese, Dutch, and German MNCs, and currently in academia in the US for nearly a decade. Hence, from my perspective, if I were to define leadership, I find the most appropriate leadership definition is as quoted by Dr. Miles Monroe, a prolific author, a great professor, a speaker, and an outstanding leader. As per him, leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, motivated by passion, generated by vision, produced by a conviction, and ignited by a purpose. What a powerful statement. And I find that is one of the best quotes. I have gone through nearly 250 literature review for my PhD dissertation, but I found this is the best one. And believe me, it is so much motivating. Character, attitude, and passion are often recognized as core pillars of effective leadership. However, there is one exceptionally critical trait that is rarely emphasized in conventional definition, that is self-ignited motivation. That is what is known as the fire in the belly. An inner drive that needs no external push. It's what truly sets great leaders apart. This powerful force does not appear overnight. It is cultivated over time through the continuous development of character and attitude. It is the internal spark that fuels resilience, vision, and unwavering determination. Self ignition is the visible engine of extraordinary leadership. Leadership has always been about guiding teams towards success, but in recent years, I realized that traditional leadership models have not been working as well as they used to. The most defining moment came when I witnessed a disengaged workforce struggling with mental health challenges and burnout despite being high performance. It became clear that we need a shift. Leadership had to focus on well being, trust, and adaptability rather than just results and control. This moment of realization was a wake up call that leadership must evolve to support both productivity and people.
Yes, yes, yes. That's beautiful. What outdated leadership habits do you think need to go first?
A good question. The most outdated leadership habits that need immediate retirement include micromanagement, right top down authority, procrastination on difficult decisions, focus on maintaining rather than evolving, and failure avoidance. So, failure avoidance, we are talking about the first fail. As Ruth Gunter McGrath from Columbia University professor noted in her transient advantage to work, competitive advantages are temporary. Leader must continuously innovate rather than protect existing models. So, failure avoidance is the first fail approach is essential. Continuing to fund underperforming initiatives drain resources from promising opportunities. Leader must quickly recognize when to cut losses. Today's effective leaders cultivate adaptability, empower their teams, make timely decisions, and recognize when to pivot, creating environments where innovation flourishes rather than controlling every process.
Correct, correct. Let's postulate for a moment. If we are moving away from those old models, what does a healthier, more sustainable leadership approach actually look like?
Well, a healthier approach to leadership emphasizes emotional intelligence, empathy, and collaboration. Do you agree?
Yes, yes, yes. I go for that.
It is about creating environments where individuals feel valued, heard, and empowered. Leader must build trust, support work-life balance, and embrace a growth mindset, encouraging both professional and personal development. Sustainable leadership also means adapting to the changing needs of employees and creating a culture that advances long-term well-being over short-term productivity gains.
Yes, yes, I love that. Can you share an example of a leader or organization that successfully made these shifts? What changed for them?
Well, one powerful example of is Microsoft. Under Satya Nadella's leadership, when he took over, he shifted the company's culture from a competitive, cutthroat environment to one focused on collaboration and empathy. This paradigm shift led to more open communication, stronger teamwork, and a more inclusive culture. As a result, Microsoft saw not only an increase in employee satisfaction, but also a remarkable growth in innovation and business performance. Nadella's leadership performance showed that a shift in mindset can bring both cultural and financial success. I believe that in the modern era, leadership primarily falls into two predominant styles, transformational and transactional, and combined is the hybrid leadership. A leader who embodies both is called a hybrid leadership. In fact, most leadership styles today are various or combinations of these two.
Yeah.
Organizations are increasingly recognizing the value of situational leadership as well, where the right leader is chosen based on the company's current status. For example, a company that has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy seeks a leader skilled in turnaround strategy, someone who can navigate crisis and restructure for survival. On the other hand, a thriving company looking into scaling exponentially will seek a leader with a growth-oriented mindset, someone who can capitalize on momentum and drive expansion. Let me share a first-hand experience. When I was the managing director of a German multinational company overseeing Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, we faced significant challenges that ultimately led to bankruptcy. The board made a bold decision to appoint a leader from outside the consumer electronics industry, someone with fresh perspective and unconventional strategies. It took 3 years to turn around the company, and today they are back in business, performing exceptionally well. This example highlights how selecting the right leader for the right situation can make all the difference.
Yes, yes, I do agree. Beautiful. With the rise of digital workplaces and remote things, how do you see technology shaping leadership today?
Well, technology is both a challenge and an opportunity for leaders. Do you agree?
Yes, we do. I love
It-
technology, actually.
Yeah, it has reshaped communication, allowing for greater connectivity and accessibility. However, it also means leader must adapt quickly to new tools and platforms. In the digital workplace, leadership is about creating a clear vision and maintaining human connection even through screens. Virtual collaboration tools, project management software, and communication platform must be leveraged to empower teams and facilitate seamless collaboration, all while ensuring that the human element remains at the forefront. Correct?
Yeah. How can leaders create real connections and engagement in remote or hybrid environments?
I like this question. It's a good question, though. Hybrid leaders must be intentional in creating opportunities for connection, even when teams are remote. Regular checks-in, virtual team building activities, and open lines of communication help foster a sense of belonging. A key factor is maintaining transparency and authenticity in communication. Leaders should also actively listen to their employees, very critical. Appreciation for their work and ensure that there is a clear understanding of goals and expectations. Do you agree?
Yes.
Encouraging collaboration and feedback loops can drive engagement, ensuring that everyone feels included and valued regardless of their location.
Yes, correct. Learning also about cyber psychology.
Absolutely. Ethical consideration as well, right?
Yes, correct. So, how can leaders create real connection in that environment? It's very powerful. If a leader listening right now wants to start making this shift, what are 3 simple actions they can take today? What would you recommend?
Well, it's a good question. First, listen actively to your team. Ask for feedback and their concerns seriously. This creates trust and shows you value their inputs, interaction, and the engagement.
Yes.
Second, prioritize well-being. Start by offering flexibility in work hours or promoting mental health initiatives. Finally, lead by example. Model the behavior you want to see in others. Show empathy, encourage collaboration, and be open to learning from your team. Small actions like this can have a profound impact on your leadership style and then the health of your workplace.
Beautiful. I really like that part. Be the change that you want to see in others.
That was the quote of Mahatma Gandhi, right?
Yes. What advice would you give to employees who feel stuck in workplaces that haven't made these shifts yet?
For employees feeling stuck, my advice is to start by seeking allies within the organization, other leaders or peers who share your values. Even small changes can make a difference. Speak up about the need for a healthier, more inclusive work environment. That's critical.
Yeah.
And advocate for flexibility and well-being. If changes are slow, it may be worth considering whether the organization's values align with yours. And if not, looking for a place where leadership is more progressive and supportive for personal growth.
Everyone deserves to be treated well. Do you have any books, tools, or frameworks that you would recommend for leaders who want to redefine their approach?
There are many books, but in short, a great resource is Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek, which emphasizes the importance of trust and empathy in leadership. Did you read the book?
No, but
Leaders Eat
I'm gonna
Last.
go and get it.
Yeah. The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni
Yes, that was my Bible.
provides practical insights into building strong collaborative teams. For frameworks, I recommend exploring emotional intelligence, EI, which is critical for today's leaders. Tools like 360-degree feedback can be a great way to assess and improve leadership effectiveness. Lastly, agile leadership principles can help leaders become more adaptive and people-focused. Keep reading and watching motivational speeches from great leaders. One of the best quote from Steve Jobs, love what you do.
Yes.
Stay hungry and stay foolish. Very powerful statement. Leadership.
If leadership had a reset button, what's one thing you change about how it's practiced today?
I would shift the focus from results at any cost to people first leadership. What is the greatest asset for any organization? It is their employees. Do you agree?
Correct.
Correct. So hence, I believe leaders need to value their employees as the greatest asset and create environments where well-being, trust, and autonomy are prioritized over sheer performance metrics. Leaders should be facilitators of growth, creating spaces where individuals feel empowered to be their best slaves, not just to meet the deadlines and targets.
Wow, that's beautiful. Before we wrap up today, I have a fun question for you. What would you do if you were not a leader and you were someone else in an environment where computer doesn't exist?
I would interact with the people, I will empower people, and you see, the true leadership creates leader without fearing succession. Let me tell you, it's very interesting. When I was working for Grundig, which is a German multinational company, I worked as a managing director for EA region, that is Europe, Middle East and Africa and Asia. So when I told them that I would like to say goodbye after working as a managing director for 10 years, and the management in Germany, they were shocked, but they said, it is sad that you are trying to leave and we do not want you leave. And if there is a chance to clone you, then maybe we will try to do. That was a absolute great, a motivating factor. I told you about the self-motivation. So this is a self-motivation. I always feel that try to do the same thing differently and being different. I mean, there is nothing extraordinary. It is extra that you do from the ordinary things. And then you become an extraordinary person. Extraordinary is nothing bigger than an ordinary, but you are doing the same things differently, making you extraordinary.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe in. So had I not had the artificial intelligence, so-called the modern environment that we are living, frankly, in 1990s and early 20s, I had no computer in terms of environment, but we manage quite efficiently. And I believe in interacting with the people, empowering them, trusting them is an asset.
Yes. Such a powerful message.
Always, Dr. Maria, the people in my PhD dissertations, when I used to have a chat with my dissertation chair and also with the group, I always used to interact. Sometimes, I don't agree to what is written in the books, like if the leadership is born or leadership is mentored.
Yeah, that's a like controversial and
yeah.
Something that you cannot answer accurate because there are many different
articles, there are many different research, but let me tell you from my practical experience, I believe the 50% of the characteristics or the trait that you see in the leadership, it is you are born with.
Yeah.
No question about that.
Like
because
you see, like in the DNA.
Yeah, you got it, DNA. Because you see, there are certain characteristics like you are extrovert by nature. You are a people's friendly, positive thinkers. So this has to come from within and then your upbringing. Over time, with the maturity, right mentorship, you turn out to be 100% good leader. But at the core, you have to have the positive approach or positive attitude towards making things happen.
Yeah.
So I would say it is both. It cannot be that leadership is not born. Yeah, it is born. There are certain characteristics has to come from within.
That's what it may happen. All right. So, Dr. Ghosh, where can our listeners connect with you and continue learning from your work?
I am very much there in ResearchGate. They can find me as a professor. I also work as a president's advisor, taking care of the international business. Of course, very much active in LinkedIn. So I have around 12,000 followers. So I am not too much into other social media other than LinkedIn. And of course, on my upcoming website, I definitely want to link our podcast.
Yes, beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Maria.
Thank you again for joining me, taking time to be here. Also, thank you to everyone listening. If this episode resonates with you, please do not forget to subscribe and share it with your team. Also, let us know your biggest takeaway. Until next time, keep leading with purpose.
If you have any questions, concerns, or comment, please visit my website www.mbaezconsulting.com or send me an email to maria@mbaezconsulting.com. This is the Mindful Leader Talk, a podcast on the effects of mindfulness as a secular practice on occupational stress and organizational culture. Feel free to invite, to listen, or share this podcast. Stay in tune for all coming episodes to building profitable organizations driven by the well-being of their employees and therefore our society. In the meantime, please stay safe, Blessings!